Some people stay steady while others break under the slightest weight. This difference usually comes down to whether a person has trained their mind to handle a heavy load or to shatter under pressure. Building that resilience isn't a matter of luck. It involves specific changes to how you process the world around you. You might recognize the feeling, lying awake at midnight, paralyzed by a loop of overthinking, wondering why daily life feels so difficult while others seem to move through it unfazed. Our biology is naturally geared towards seeking the path of least resistance. We are wired to avoid discomfort and reach for immediate relief, which often turns the avoidance of hard things into a default setting. Choosing comfort in the short term often leads to a cycle of feeling stuck. While we focus on the external obstacles, we often miss how our own internal reactions are actually shaping our reality. Progress begins by moving past excuses. Complaining creates a state of paralysis. If a problem exists, you either take steps to fix it or accept the situation. This small slice represents the 10% of life that just happens to you. The rest is determined by how you respond. Gain control by practicing a 5-second pause. Breathing creates space between an event and your reaction, letting logic lead. Emotions move through us like waves. They arrive, they peak, and they recede. Letting a temporary feeling dictate a permanent action is how we lose control of the narrative. This pause stops the immediate spiral. However, managing a reaction is only half the battle. You also have to look at how you define the problem itself. We often view obstacles as unfair roadblocks. A more effective approach is to view them as a form of resistance training, specific tests that allow you to build the capacity you currently lack. David Goggins is a well-known example of this shift. He was an out-of-shape pest control worker who decided to undergo elite military training. He had to lose over 100 pounds in 3 months just to qualify for the environment shown here. By refusing to stop when his mind told him he was finished, he went on to set world records in endurance. His story suggests the limits we believe we have are often more flexible than they appear. Train with controlled discomfort. Take a cold shower. Practice daily meditation. This builds the habit of staying steady when your environment is challenging. Completing one difficult task every day helps prepare the mind for unexpected stress. But these habits only work if they are supported by a consistent operating system. A common mistake is waiting until you feel motivated to start working. If you wait for the right mood, you've already handed control over to your emotions. This is a map of motivation. It peaks during inspiration, then drops off when things get difficult. But discipline is the steady line that ignores those peaks and valleys. It's a commitment to a process that functions regardless of your current mood. Goals are often just statements of what we want. Systems are the actual actions, like going to the gym 5 days a week, whether you want to or not. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel, it is the only reliable way to ensure you actually follow through on your intentions. When you reach this point, your perspective changes. When faced with loss or betrayal, the focus isn't on why it happened, but on how to move forward. This reflects a basic psychological rule. Pain is unavoidable. Suffering, however, stems from the resistance we put up against the facts of a situation. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what is happening. It means you stop wasting energy wishing reality was different. Once you stop resisting, the unnecessary weight of suffering begins to lift. You have likely already survived several events you once thought would break you. You have a record of endurance that you might be overlooking. There is no perfect moment to start building this kind of strength. The choice to stop being reactive and start being disciplined is available right now. Your future self is waiting for that decision.